New planner, new routine, new commitment, new identity. You know the feeling. That rush of hope when you decide this time will be different. This time you'll actually follow through. And you do, for a while. You start the business. You join the gym. You begin the meditation practice. You commit to the relationship. You make the first steps toward the life you keep saying you want. But somewhere around week 3 or 4, something shifts. You slow down. You miss a day, then another. And eventually, you quietly abandon the whole thing. You tell yourself the plan wasn't right. You tell yourself you need more information. You tell yourself it wasn't the right time. And you wait for the next burst of inspiration, the next new beginning. But there's another explanation, and it changes everything. Here's where most people misunderstand what's happening. We assume that if we start something and don't finish, the problem must be the plan, our discipline, or our motivation. But look at the pattern more carefully. Think about someone who starts new projects constantly but rarely finishes them. They're full of ideas. They're passionate at the beginning. But something happens right around the moment things get real. This isn't a motivation problem. It's a resistance problem. And the resistance isn't telling you to quit. It's telling you to reset so you can stay in the safe zone. Let's make this real. Imagine someone named Marcus. Marcus is incredibly creative. He's got a folder full of business ideas on his laptop. He started 3 different side projects in the last year. Every time he starts, he's excited. He creates the logo. He builds the website. He tells his friends about it. And then, right around the time he'd need to start selling, to put himself out there, to handle rejection, to actually be visible, he finds himself losing interest. He tells himself the idea wasn't strong enough. He tells himself he needs to do more research. He tells himself the market isn't ready. But what he's really doing is staying in the beginning. Because the beginning has no track record. The beginning has no failures. The beginning has no evidence of who you really are and what you can actually do. The beginning is safe. The middle is where it gets uncomfortable. When you're in the middle of something, you're no longer just an idea. You're a person with a track record. You have responsibilities. You have expectations. People are watching. And for some people, being watched, being known, being accountable feels more dangerous than failing. This is why starting over can become an addiction. Not because you love new things, because the new thing lets you stay invisible. It lets you remain a person with potential, rather than a person with actual results. The beginning asks nothing of you. The middle asks everything. And here's where it gets more uncomfortable. You may think you're searching for the right path, but what if you're avoiding the path that would actually require you to become someone new? The person who starts a business but never launches isn't afraid of the business. They're afraid of becoming a business owner. The person who starts a fitness routine but never sticks with it isn't afraid of exercise. They're afraid of becoming someone who takes their health seriously. The person who starts a creative project but never shares it isn't afraid of criticism. They're afraid of becoming someone who is seen. The pattern isn't about starting. It's about staying. And the version of you that could actually finish something, that version feels like a stranger. Because finishing changes everything. Now think about what this pattern has already cost you. How many things have you started that you never finished? How many ideas have you abandoned right before they could have worked? How many versions of yourself have you left behind because becoming them felt too uncomfortable? You don't have a finding the right plan problem. You have a staying in the plan problem. And the cost isn't just missed opportunities. It's your own belief in yourself. Every time you start and don't finish, you strengthen the story. I'm someone who doesn't follow through. And that story becomes self-fulfilling. The challenge is that the same pattern doesn't mean the same thing for everyone. One person restarts because they're a perfectionist. Nothing is ever quite good enough. Another restarts because they're afraid of being seen. Visibility feels dangerous. Another restarts because they're addicted to the excitement of new beginnings. Generic advice doesn't work because the pattern is personal. That's why I created a personalized, numerology-based self-discovery map. It uses your birth date as a symbolic framework for exploring your recurring patterns, your natural strengths, your possible inner conflicts, and the areas where you may be unconsciously avoiding commitment. If this video helped you recognize the pattern, but you're still unsure what's driving it in your own life, the map in the description was created for that next step. But understanding why you keep restarting is only the first layer. The next question is even more uncomfortable. Why do some people finally break through and then sabotage themselves right when things begin to work? That's the question I answer in the next video. Maybe the reason you keep rebuilding the same life in a different form isn't that you haven't found the right path. Maybe some part of you still believes the beginning is safer than the middle, but the beginning never changed anything. The beginning never made anyone into who they needed to become. That only happens in the middle. And you're not the person who needs to stay invisible anymore.